Welcome back YouTube. My name is Dennis Panuta for tutorials.eu. In this video, I would like to talk about how you handle problems or how you handle the situation of having problems. I'm just going to create this very basic piece of code where I'm just printing hello and plus a number. So if I run that, I'm getting an error. And that's something that can happen quite a lot. So getting errors is very normal. But let's just assume that you have created an error that doesn't appear for you, but it appears for other people. And then somebody tells you, hey, you have this error, there's something not working, my button is not working or whatever. So for you, it doesn't make sense because it works on your machine. So the first thing you need to understand is where does the person come from, or where is the problem coming from? And that can be many different things. So it could be the version that you're running. So for example, the person is running something on Python 2 and it doesn't work, or it's running it on a different browser. So the person is running it on, let's say not Chrome, but the Internet Explorer or Edge or Opera or whatever. And things look different there, and some features are not installed or not working on that version or on that operating system or on that browser. So depending on where the person comes from and what the surroundings generally are, you can have different kinds of problems. And that is the first thing you need to always understand. So what is the potential problem? So where is the person coming from? And then you can go ahead and debug. So in this case, it's very easy. So we have the situation where we have a type error. So we can simply go ahead and copy that code or mark that code and Google for it. So we can just say search Google for type error must be str not int. So let's just do that. Or we could just enter that piece of text here into Google in general. And what we get here is multiple answers or multiple results. We can of course go to Stack Overflow, and Stack Overflow is a great website where you have so many different people answering questions and so many people helping out other people. And as debugging is a very important, generally a very important aspect of programming or of the job of a programmer, you will find many people, even very experienced people, posting problems and issues on Stack Overflow, and other people who had the problem already or who just like to help out will post some of their ideas how to solve this problem. So in this case, it says Python type error must be str not int. In this case, it's a duplicate, so there is a different thread where this was answered already, but there's somebody who posts this problem and he worked with stuff, and as you can see here, he's using temperature. And in here he's using temperature as well. And temperature is a string, or is not a string, as you can see, it's an integer. So it's a total or a whole number. And that's why this line seems to be the issue. At least that's what I would expect straight away. So that's the error that the person gets. And then below that, he sees 3 answers, or in this case, it's 3 answers, and people can upvote or downvote the answer that was given. And he just says, okay, please make a string out of your temperature, and then your code should be fine. So cast it to a string using the str function. So that's great. And as you can see, there's a check mark, which means that the poster of this problem accepted this answer. So whenever you run into a similar error, or in general into an error, just search for it. Another thing that might help is that you add whatever version you are running it with. So as you can see, you can just press and enter here and you can see what people were searching for. So Python, Pandas, Python 3, and so forth. So you can just go ahead and say, okay, I'm having this problem in Python 3, and then you might get different answers. As well as here on Reddit, somebody also posted it and had a problem here. So that's generally how you can go ahead and search for issues. And don't be disappointed about this. It's a very normal thing to happen. There are plenty of pros who still have plenty of issues or plenty of errors coming up, because sometimes you just don't see a little error that can come up, and sometimes you just don't know what's going on. Or if you're not very experienced, then you will have very many basic errors, but sometimes you will have complex errors, and sometimes it's just enough to restart your computer and your error disappears, or restart your browser or stuff like that. So I had this issue with some of my other courses where people said, hey, it doesn't work. I cannot create a project with Android Studio. I still get this Grell error and this R error and so forth. And then I can just tell them, please restart your machine. And then people come back, hey, dude, that helped out. So sometimes it's really just restarting your PC. Sometimes it's something like you see here. Sometimes an error doesn't show up, but still stuff doesn't work the way it should. So if you ever have this situation, it really makes sense to search for the behavior that you are searching for or that you would like to achieve, or searching for the behavior that you are getting, or both at the same time. So if you search for that on Google, then you will most of the time find a solution either on Stack Overflow or on other forums which have plenty of experienced developers who will help out. And sometimes the error is really just one little sign, and sometimes it's a lot more complex. And yeah, it's a very normal thing. Even sitting there and trying to solve an error for multiple days and debug an error for multiple days is not uncommon. Of course, when you're starting to learn and that happens, that can be a real bummer, but in usual cases, you'll find a solution real quickly. And of course, you can always ask in the course discussions and we'll help out. All right, so I hope that helped you whenever you run into errors, and you will think of this lecture and you will think of the approaches that I've displayed. And in the next video, we are going to look at a pretty cool project, which is going to be Trump Twitter bot, which simply posts stuff like Trump does it, and it can be pretty funny. So let's just go there and see you there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like. And if you have any questions or suggestions, then leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And by the way, if you really love the content and you would like to have more of it, or pretty much all of it, then of course, check out the link in the description to my whole course. See you in the next video.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.